Hey everyone, it's Alison Heikkila. Thank you so much for joining me. Just this very morning, I watched a video from my darling friend Amy from Amy's Wares. You guys have probably heard me reference her about 1,000,000 times because she's so amazing and I love her. But I watched her video today, which I will link below in the description box. Just make sure you expand and scroll down. I watched her video today. I loved the layout that she created. I loved the techniques that she did. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to make one similar to hers. So again, make sure you check out her video. I'll have it linked below so that you can see, the products that I used versus what she used and how they each came out. And I'm excited to do it because I thought that her design was so cool. And I think that with the products I'm going to use today, it's going to be really pretty, very appropriate for spring. So what I'm going to be using are some goodies from Spellbinders. This here is the clear stamp and die set of the month for February 2025. So you can get just the clear stamps of the month, or you can get the clear stamps and dies in a kit. So you can do it either way, depending on what you want. These are so cute. Look at these bunnies. I think they're adorable. They're just so sweet. I love these little chickies. The flowers are really pretty. The sentiments are lovely. I like the font that they used, but we're going to definitely be using these flowers here. We might use a critter. Not sure yet. We'll see how it winds up, but definitely want to use the flowers. Those are the dies, like I said. And then we're also going to be using this wicker basket embossing folder die. This is one of their gigantic embossing folders, which I love so much because it gives you so much freedom with the size card that you use, and also, depending on what the pattern is, I mean, here, obviously, it's a very specific repeating pattern, but sometimes, you have a floral here with a geometric on the side or whatever, so you can kind of pick and choose where you emboss, and that is really exciting to me, too. So this is the embossing folder of the month, not the 3D embossing folder of the month. This is just the regular 2D embossing folder of the month, so it's two separate kits that you can check out, but use what you have. The other thing that we're going to be using, like what Amy had in her video, is the Marvelous Masks postage stamp. We're probably going to use this 3-inch size. That's what I'm thinking. But there's two different versions of this, so you can get like half sizes in between, and these are from Colorful Life Designs. Make sure that you use my code ALFAN10 if you decide to do any shopping over there. You'll save 10% on anything in the shop except for master bundles, but we're going to wind up using probably this 3-inch size, and this is the A set, Marvelous Masks postage stamp A. So there's an A and a B, so you can get either one or the other and go from there. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to emboss just a plain white card panel. I'm going to spritz the back of it with some water. I have my water right here. I'm doing it off camera. Just 2 quick sprays. And then I'm going to place this in here. Kind of get it straight. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. Okay, let's see how this looks. This is the first time I'm using this. Oh, it's so pretty. That is really nice. This is going to work for so many different themes and styles. I really like it. So we're going to move this off to the side. We don't need this at the moment. We are first going to stamp out our floral. I've got my flower here. Again, this is the first time I'm using this. So exciting. I love breaking out new sets. I've got it on a block. You can use a stamp platform if you want. Since this is the first time I'm using it, I like to just kind of rub it on my arm a little bit just to get off any of the excess stuff from when it was made. You can use a cloth, but it's just easier for me to use my arm. I have some Tuxedo black Memento ink and some Copic friendly paper because we're going to be using our Copics today, because why not? And I'm going to stamp this 2 times because I plan on going around the corner of that postage stamp frame. You know what? I'm going to separate these because I don't know how close the die is going to cut to this. We'll do it over here. All right. That's that. Move this off to the side, and I am prepared today. I already picked out my Copic colors. Look at me go. All right, so we're going to start off with the flower. We'll do this one here. I'm going to zoom in for you. Like so. Move this up a little bit. And we're going to get coloring. First, I'm going to start with my yellows. I have Y08 and Y35. Just going to make quick work of this. We're not going to go too crazy. At least that's not my plan. We'll see. Things could get a little crazy. So that's it for the yellows. That's just the center of the flower. And now we're going to move on to some reds. I've got R22, R27, and R24. I like this combination a lot. And we're going to start by just coloring. We'll start with 2 petals. I don't like to work with just one section at a time if they're small. I usually do, like if it's a floral like this, I'll do 2 to 3 petals. Just so that I don't have to keep capping and uncapping my markers. Some people leave them open. I don't really like to do that personally, but do what works for you. We're just gonna quickly add some color in here. And then we're going to the 27. And then we'll go back to the 22, which is our first color, and kind of blend this a little bit. Just going in a circular motion. And that's that. So we'll do the next couple of petals. And I'm not going to make you watch me color both flowers. I feel like it's not necessary. We'll do all 3 this time, because we're going to be doing it exactly the same way. And then I will also die cut them. All right. Going to the 24 color. Going from the center of the flower, working my way out. And then this part has a shadow because part of the petal has curled over. Put that there. And then we'll go into our 27. Making it nice and dark in there. You can even go darker. I would probably get a little bit more of a contrast going, but this is fine. And then we're just going back in with the 22 and just blending that out. All right, now we've got a couple of buds here. So I'm going to do that with the 24 and then the 27. You know, the buds of flowers are usually darker because they're closed up so tight. You don't really see the lightest color until after it's open. I'm going to go like that, and I think that looks nice. Okay, moving on to our greens. I only grabbed 2 greens because they're small, you know. I've got YG07 and YG09. And we're going to make quick work of this too. Coloring a couple of those in, and then making the inner area a little darker. And if you want more of a contrast, you can definitely go darker. I don't really think it's necessary in this case, and I don't even really need to reblend this because it looks good. And these areas are so small, it's nice to just get them all done at once. Just a little bit like this. This is really quick coloring, you guys. All right, there we have it. That is our first flower. And now I'm going to color the other one and get them die cut out. Here are my colored flowers, and they've been die cut, and I think they look fabulous. So now what we're going to do is we are going to work on our focal panel. I've got it on my gel press plate, and I have my plate on a piece of acrylic. This is like a really big acrylic block, but it's skinny. You could put it directly on your glass mat if you want to, but I like the ability to just get it out of my way when I'm done with it. So it's just easier for me to have it on here. I'm going to put my postage stamp mask. Hopefully this is centered. You know what? I don't think it is. Let's do this. I'm going to try to line it up. I'm using my Glassboard to try and line it up as best as I can. And if it's a little off, it's okay. I'm not going to go crazy. Eyeballing it. Okay, that looks good. So now this is not going anywhere, which is great. So my thought is that we're going to probably go like this and have that in the corner like that. Okay, so I have 3 colors of Distress ink. I have Abandoned Coral, Saltwater Taffy, and Mustard Seed. So I'm going to start with the Mustard Seed. And we're going to just apply this with blending brushes kind of haphazardly here and there and everywhere using this Postage stamp mask, excuse me. What's nice about these masks too is that you get the interior part too, so you can use both pieces, which is great. Now I'm going in with the Saltwater Taffy. I apologize that my camera is bouncing. It's just the way my rig is built. I made it a few years ago out of PVC pipe because camera rigs are really expensive. And the way my room is not only set up, but the way it's built, I have a ceiling that angles down over here because it's the roof line. I actually kind of like it like that with the bits of white showing, but we're going to go in with the Abandoned Coral anyway. Anyway, so I can't just have something hanging from the ceiling down because I'll keep bashing my head into it, because the ceiling is right by my head now as I'm standing up filming this. So that won't work. We need other solutions. So I built a rig out of PVC pipe, and it works really well. It's just a little bouncy. That is really overtaking the Saltwater Taffy. Let's go back in with this. See if we can lighten it up a bit. Yeah, that's better already. Okay. A little bit more Mustard Seed, I think. Which will create an orange, but I'm fine with that. You know, I think that that's nice. We can give it a peek. Oh yeah, that looks good. Yep, I like that. Well, that's one of the nice things about putting your stencils on top of a gel press plate, is it holds it. It suctions it in place, so I can lift this up, check it, and it'll just go right back down where it was. Okay, but we're going to remove this. Look at that. Fabulous. I love it. Okay, move that off to the side. Clean the stencil later. A little bit of fuzz on here, because why not? Now we have this. And I think that that's really pretty, but we need a sentiment, right? So, do we want to use one of these? We have Bright Days Ahead, Warm Easter Wishes, Sending Spring Smiles, Springtime Magic Enclosed, Step into Spring, and Hello. I like this Bright Days Ahead. I think it might be nice to do black, like a black strip that's white heat embossed. I think that would be really nice. I'm digging this so far, you guys. All right, let me get some black, and we'll do that. I've got a strip of paper here. This is just black cardstock. I have my anti-static powder bag, which for once I'm remembering to actually use. And I have the stamp applied to a block, and again, I'm just going to wipe it on myself because it's the first time I'm using it. We've got some VersaMark ink, which is sticky, so it will, wherever you stamp with it, it will make that area sticky so that the embossing powder will stick to it. There we go. And we'll trim this down afterwards. Okay. I've got some white embossing powder, a scrap piece of paper, and now we're going to just heat set that. Here is our embossed and trimmed down sentiment. And that's going to go like right there. I think that's cute. Okay. So first I am going to adhere this. I've got some Barely Arts glue. And I'm just going to glue these guys down. Doing this one first because it's on the bottom. Get my block here. I'm trying to decide if I want to pop up that sentiment. I think I'm going to leave it flat. I don't know. We'll see. I do think that we're going to ink the edges of our base the way I normally do, but with all of these colors that we used with the mask. Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, so let this dry. I didn't do the sentiment yet because I haven't really decided if I'm going to pop it up or not. We might. Maybe with some 1mm foam tape. I think that that's what Amy used actually. So now I'm going to just kind of attack this at opposite ends, like so. Mustard seed first, saltwater taffy next. I think I need to re-ink my saltwater taffy. Seems like it's about that time. There are some colors that I find dry up much faster and I need to re-ink a lot. Not even because of how often I use them, but they just seem to dry faster. Like Salvage Patina. I've had to re-ink that one a bunch of times. Now granted, it's one of my all-time favorite, actually it is my all-time favorite distress color, but I feel like I don't use it enough to warrant it needing to be re-inked as often as I do. I don't know, do you have that happen to you too? So I love doing this kind of prismatic effect around the edges of my card base. I think it looks so cool. It looks like it's glowing and the colors are kind of shifting. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's adhere this, and I'm gonna pop up that sentiment. We're gonna do that. Now I'm using Artis, no T at the end, craft glue from scrapbook.com. I use two different glues because I keep the nozzle on the Artis one bigger for big areas like this, and my Barely Arts nozzle is tiny for small areas. Let me get my bigger block. All right, bigger block with another block. Let me get some foam tape now. This is the scrapbook.com foam adhesive. We're going to use the 1/8 of an inch, 1mm. I use this stuff a lot. I'm going to need to get some more. I am. All right. I'm just going to trim a little piece of this off. Could have used a little bit more. There we go. The release paper comes off really nicely, which is great. Okay. I think I want that there. And now, of course, we need a little bling. So guys, I thought I hit record and I didn't. So you missed me gluing the sequins down and I apologize. Nothing too crazy and exciting. I did tuck a couple of them underneath the sentiment, which is one of the reasons I love popping elements up so that you can tuck the sequins underneath. I used Crystal Opaque Sunflower from A Color for Life Designs. It's a beautiful color, and it works really well with this design. So I just used some on-point glue and my pokey tool and my jewel picker to apply these, and that's it. This card is done, and it is so pretty. A big shout out to Amy for being so inspirational all the time. A quick shout out to my mom, because she's always watching my videos. Thanks, Mom. And I think that that's pretty much it. Make sure you hit A Color for Life Designs to see all of the different marvelous masks. The balloon ones, aces. Those are great. And be sure to hit Spellbinders too, because all of the card kits are going to be out. Not card kits, club kits, excuse me. And they're so pretty this month. You're going to love them. So that's it for me. I will be back very soon with another video. Thank you for hanging out with me. Be well, stay safe. Peace out.